I have spent decades covering the intricate movements of the National Football League, and if there is one thing I have learned, it is that the playoff landscape can shift in the blink of an eye. Today, we are witnessing a seismic shift that directly impacts our Seattle Seahawks. I am reporting on a massive development coming out of Santa Clara that changes the entire complexion of the upcoming divisional round matchup. The San Francisco 49ers have just confirmed that their star playmaker has suffered a torn Achilles and will be sidelined for the remainder of the postseason. This is a devastating blow for our rivals and a monumental strategic opening for Seattle. Before I break down exactly how Mike Macdonald is going to exploit this absence, I need you to do something for me. If you are a true member of the 12s and you believe this is our year, please hit that subscribe button, like this video, and most importantly, I want to know where you are representing the Seahawks from. Comment down below right now and tell me which city you are watching from. I love seeing our community grow from every corner of the globe. Now, let's get into the technical details of why this injury is so significant for the Seahawks game plan. An Achilles tear is one of the most difficult injuries for an explosive athlete to overcome, and losing a player of this caliber during the most critical week of the season is a nightmare for Kyle Shanahan. From a journalistic perspective, I have seen how teams react to these sudden losses. There is a period of shock, and then there is the reality of the depth chart. For Seattle, this means the defensive preparation just became significantly more focused. I have been looking at the film of how the 49ers utilize this specific star, and their entire offensive identity often rotates around his gravity. Without him, the 49ers lose their primary safety valve and their most dangerous vertical threat. This allows Mike Macdonald to get much more creative with his blitz packages. I expect to see more aggressive looks from our linebackers because they no longer have to worry about the elite lateral quickness that this star provided. When I think about the history of the Seahawks and 49ers rivalry, it has always been about who can survive the war of attrition. This news suggests that the 49ers' armor is cracking at the worst possible time. I have spoken to scouts who believe that the 49ers' backup options simply cannot replicate the production or the psychological fear that this star playmaker instilled in opposing defenses. This gives Seattle a chance to dictate the tempo of the game from the very first whistle. I am looking at the secondary specifically, where Devin Witherspoon and Reek Woolen can now play with a bit more freedom. They won't be forced into as many double team situations, which means we can see more man-to-man coverage and more opportunities for interceptions. The Seahawks have been waiting for a break like this, and while you never want to see an athlete go down with a career-altering injury, the reality of the NFL is that availability is the best ability. I have seen the Seahawks capitalize on these moments before, dating back to the Legion of Boom era, where one missing piece for the opponent led to a total collapse of their system. We are seeing the 49ers try to put on a brave face in their press conferences, but the underlying metrics show that their success rate drops by nearly 15% when the star is off the field. That is a massive margin in a playoff game where every yard matters. I am also looking at the impact on the offensive line for San Francisco. Without the threat of the star, the defense can pin their ears back and rush the quarterback with more frequency. This is where Mike Macdonald's system really shines. He loves to create confusion, and without a reliable star to bail them out, the 49ers quarterback is going to be under immense pressure. I have been analyzing the practice reports from the VMAC, and the energy in Seattle is palpable. The players know that this is a golden opportunity to advance. I have always said that the playoffs are about matchups, and this matchup just swung heavily in favor of the Seahawks. It is not just about the physical loss, but the emotional drain on a locker room when they lose that leader. I will be watching closely to see how the 49ers attempt to fill this void, but in my professional opinion, you cannot replace a generational talent in 4 days of practice. This is the kind of news that changes betting lines and changes the expectations of an entire city. Seattle is currently in a position where they can truly take control of the NFC. I've seen this story unfold before, and it usually ends with the healthier team hoisting the trophy. We are going to continue monitoring the situation throughout the week to see if any other injuries pop up. But for now, the 49ers are reeling, and the Seahawks are ready to pounce.
Continuing with my analysis of this massive divisional round shift, I want to focus on the schematic ripple effects that this Achilles injury creates for the Seahawks offense as well. I have always believed that a great defense feeds a great offense, and with the 49ers offense likely struggling to stay on the field without their star, Geno Smith and the Seattle offense are going to get more possessions. I have seen the data on time of possession, and when a team loses their primary playmaker, their third down conversion rate plummets. This means the Seahawks defense will be getting off the field faster, giving our playmakers like DK Metcalf and Jackson Smith-Njigba more opportunities to tire out the 49ers defense. I am particularly interested in how Ryan Grubb, our offensive coordinator, will use this to his advantage. If the 49ers defense is forced to be on the field for 40 minutes because their offense can't move the ball, they will break in the fourth quarter. I have seen it happen time and time again in the playoffs. Fatigue is the ultimate equalizer. Furthermore, let's talk about the coaching matchup. Kyle Shanahan is a brilliant offensive mind, but even the best chefs can't cook a five-star meal without the right ingredients. Mike Macdonald, on the other hand, is the young lion who has been waiting for this chance to prove his defensive system is the best in the league. I have studied Macdonald's time in Baltimore, and he excelled at taking away a team's second and third options once the primary star was gone. This injury simplifies the math for our coaching staff. I also want to touch on the veteran leadership in the Seahawks locker room. Guys like Bobby Wagner understand that you cannot take an injured opponent lightly. I have seen trap games in the playoffs before, but this feels different. The Seahawks aren't looking to win, they are looking to dominate. I've been hearing rumors from within the facility that the intensity at practice has reached a new level since this news broke. The players recognize that the road to the Super Bowl just got a little less bumpy. However, we must remain objective. The 49ers still have a talented roster, but the loss of an Achilles-level star is more than just a statistical hit. It is a loss of identity. When I look at the special teams impact, even that changes. If this star was involved in returns or as a decoy on special plays, that's another layer of the playbook that San Francisco has to throw away. I have spent my life analyzing these details, and these are the things that separate the winners from the losers in January. I want the 12s to understand that this is the moment we have been waiting for. The divisional round is where legends are made, and the Seahawks have a clear path forward. I am predicting that we will see a much more aggressive Seattle team than we saw in the regular season. We have the health, we have the momentum, and now we have the situational advantage. In summary, the 49ers' loss is Seattle's gain. The torn Achilles of their star playmaker removes the biggest hurdle in the Seahawks' defensive strategy and opens up the clock for our offense to dominate. It is a sad day for the player, but a pivotal day for the Seattle Seahawks franchise. We are looking at a team that is peaking at the right time, while our biggest rival is dealing with a cataclysmic injury. I will be at the game, watching every snap, and I expect to see the Seahawks capitalize on every single weakness the 49ers show. This is the beauty of the NFL. It is unpredictable, it is harsh, but for the prepared, it is full of opportunity. I am confident that Mike Macdonald has his guys ready to execute a game plan that will leave the 49ers wondering what hit them. To recap today's major news, a 49ers star is officially out with a torn Achilles, giving the Seattle Seahawks a massive strategic and emotional edge heading into the divisional round. This is a game changer for the NFC playoffs. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay updated on every development as we approach kickoff. I will be here with more breaking news and deep dive analysis as it happens. Go Hawks!